Hello, everybody. This is Arunangshu Sinha this side. Today, I'm going to explain you all about the talent recruitment life cycle in very simple terms. Before understanding about the talent recruitment life cycle, let us first try to understand that why do we require recruitment? Now, recruitment is an integral part of every company. The process of recruitment is mainly done in order to hire talents that wins at a marketplace and which in turn offers profit for the business. Now, hiring the right talent with the right attitude for a company is essential because in order to get a high return on investment. Now, the requirement of this recruitment can arise in the company for mainly three reasons. First, refilling a vacant position. Let us assume that due to attrition, a position has been vacant. Then, initially, it will be tried to be filled by internally. If that doesn't happen, then the need to hire external arises. In that case, an external associate or a talent is hired in order to fill up that vacant position. Second, if a business is growing through growth, there might be a requirement for increased staffing. That is, requirement of more number of people to work in order to meet the customer demands. In that case also, the need for recruitment arises. And third, if the current business is expanding into new venture, as in starting a new business or probably acquiring some more new kind of a projects, venturing into new arenas, in that case, again, recruitment of new hires is extremely essential to fulfill that position. I hope we all understood that why do we need recruitment, right? So next, let us go to the steps in talent recruitment life cycle. So the talent recruitment life cycle is nothing but the life cycle, the entire life cycle of recruiting talent. So the first thing, it is requirement definition. Now, what is requirement definition? Requirement definition mainly consists of job analysis. The position for which the recruitment is going to happen, that analysis of the job has to be done. Once the analysis is completed, the recruiter needs to put out the details of what an ideal candidate is expected to be with the desired values, outcomes, degree, and the years of experience and the long term goals. So, the first step is requirement definition. Second is sourcing. So, after proper job analysis, a detailed job description of the vacant position is being prepared. Now, this job description helps the sourcing channels to find out the appropriate candidates. When a detailed job description is been put out into the sourcing channels like social media and other various job portals, the interested or the required candidates often apply through that, and that is how we will be able to source these candidates, right? Third step is screening. Once the sourcing is done, the initial screening. So now the people who are interested in that particular job position has applied for it. But it's very important for recruiters to separate the noise from the actual sound. Meaning, say if there are 500 resumes that gets submitted, not all 500 is going to be relevant, or else not all 500 is going to be extremely relevant to the position. There will never be a 100% match. So the initial screening of the resume is done with the help of the latest recruitment softwares. These softwares will check for the match of the job description with the profile, and they will help to screen out the most relevant resumes. After that initial screening is done, the recruiter then goes ahead and interacts with the filtered candidates over a phone call regarding their interest in the open position and also to check if they are suitable for the open position. Once the screening is done by both the recruitment software as well as the recruiter, the fourth step comes into interviewing candidates. So then the recruiter will now line up the candidates for interview by the interview panel. So the main objective of the interview is to assess if the skill set is right for the position, and also to make the new hire or the probable hire understand and assess the mutual benefit. The recruiter and the new hire or the probable new hire will be assessing their mutual benefits in terms of joining the company as well as in terms of hiring the potential candidate. So, this is the step of interviewing the candidates. Once this is done, then a job offer is made. Now, a formal job offer is made only after a detailed discussion about the job profile, the employment policies, and most importantly, the salary negotiation. The salary is being negotiated between the potential employee and the recruiter so that it's a win win situation for both. Once the job offer is made, then the last step, and the most important, I would rather say, is the onboarding. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, unless and until an associate is joining the company, the recruitment phase is really not completed. So, a recruiter will make periodic communications to the potential new hire about the onboarding so that he or she can complete the onboarding formalities and have a smooth onboarding process. So, on the day of the onboarding, the associate will be briefed about the company with a welcome and an introduction, and also about the different policies and basically the environment or the cultural values of the company. So, with the onboarding, the new talents are onboarded and therefore they will be trained on their specific technologies or the skill sets based on the business requirement. So, with the help of this, they will be deployed further into their required projects. So, then this is how the recruitment life cycle is completed and the staffing requirements are closed. I hope I was able to make you all understand the total life cycle of recruitment in very simple words. Please post your comments down below with suggestions and feedback. Thank you and see you in the next video.